Larissa's turn to shove all in. This is the fourth all in 4 hands. Each one of them has got through.
So big money being played for here at the Regency Hotel at the European Deepstack Championship main event. Used Shippers, big chip leader. Nearly 22 million chips. Followed by Jonas van Bogart from Belgium with 9 million. And their nearest competitor is Cahill Shine, who has 4.5. So average stack at the moment is 7.5 million. So only 2 players above average. We've just started the level 100,000, 200,000. So the average stack is 37 big blinds, 37.5 big blinds. So still pretty deep, but the big stacks of Jonas and Just sort of skew the average a little bit for the other players. We have Japan, Loris and Matthew all on around 15 big blinds or less.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some all-ins pretty soon.
Yeah, we had just missed 4 all-ins apparently while I was making my way back over.
But not one call. That's the key part.
Fold. Raise 400,000. Fold.
So all 6 players here guaranteed at least 10,000 euro. In our 300 euro side event, there's 2 players there who are guaranteed at least 10,000 euro as well. 16,000 up top in that one. And we've about 130 players in the 200 euro event, still with another hour or so of late registration or re-entry. 1 re-entry allowed per player. 16 left in the 300 euro side event. Dara O'Kearney, Dara Davey, David Caffrey and Gary Clark all going well for Ireland in that one. But we're focusing on the main event here. And we have Japan under the gun. He's going to fold. Cahill folds, Matthew folds. Just Shippers, the big chip leader, just checks how much Loris has got. Loris is in the small blind, Just is on the button, and Jonas van Bogart is the big blind. Jonas, the only person that Just needs to be really careful of at the moment.
Call.
An unusual call on the button there.
I think that's the first time we have seen a limp on the button in the whole 3 days of coverage here.
I think so, yeah.
2 players.
And Jonas has checked. King, Jack, Queen, Rainbow on the flop.
Check.
Just is going to bet. Jonas is going to fold.
Easy game. Who needs the raise?
I am limping on the button.
We have to note now the plaques have been introduced. I think they're worth $1 million.
Yep.
James Bond's-esque.
Yep, 1 million chips. They're actually the same color as the plaques used in Casino Royale.
Yeah. See, Juiced has a whole host of them there. Is he going to try and riffle them? No.
I'd love to see that. Plaque riffle. Yeah, with 45 million chips in play, we do need those 1 million chip plaques, otherwise it would take forever sorting out the big pots between the big stacks. You might not even be able to see some of the players behind their stacks if we had to.
Raise all in.
All in from Matthew. Just folds, Loris folds, Jonas folds.
Fold.
Japan in the big blind.
500,000.
He's going to fold. We're going to see a lot of this, I think, now. There's only 6 players. It's short-handed. We've got 4 shortish stacks.
That's the third successful all-in that Matthew's got through. Increase the stack by about 50%. That's not bad.
Yes, you can see that there. Matthew on just below 3 million, so 14 big blinds. Japan's got 20 big blinds and Cahill has 24 big blinds, so relative to big blinds, Cahill is still in reasonably okay shape. But then look at Jonas there with 43 bigs, and Just has got over 100 big blinds. Great position for the Dutchman. And here it folds around to Jonas on the button. Is he going to take advantage of the fact that the other players are short stacked? He's not.
I'm sure Japan will. No.
No. We have a walk. It's unusual.
Come on.
9 shot.
Shows the 9 of hearts. So still 5 different nationalities in the mix with 6 players left. 2 Belgians, an Irishman, a Dutchman, a Dane, and a Frenchman. Truly international tournament, this.
Fold.
All in from Loris. Just over 2 million.
Oh. Jonas didn't snap fold.
No, Jonas is just having a look, calculating how much he's going to have left behind.
Now that Eustace out the hand, he covers everyone else.
Yeah, he knows that pretty much that's all's at risk. So he's moved all in. Isolation.
Fold. Call, yeah. 2 million.
And
Just a second.
just Matthew left here, and he hasn't folded straight away, so this could be interesting.
Call.
And he's going to go, so we've got 3-way action here in Dublin. Jonas covers both these players. Opportunity for Loris or Matthew to triple up, or Jonas to bust 2, and we're soon down to 4 players if that happens. Very interesting to see what the hands are here.
Call. This one, yeah?
This is going to make a big difference to the dynamic of play, whatever happens here.
2 million, 7, 808.
Of course, the pot there says 13.7 million, but it's counting all of Jonas's chips. Ace-King for Jonas. King-9 for Loris. And pocket jacks for Matthew. So Loris is in big trouble here, because if he hits his king,
King-9 is Loris.
he's behind Jonas, and if he hits his 9, is behind Matthew. So Matthew is a slight favourite here to triple up, but there's nothing much in it. Loris is in desperate trouble. It's just 7% to win for Loris. Best hope for Loris is 4 diamonds. There's 2 of them. Oh, so, no, there's 2 diamonds there. Yep. Diamonds are the ones that are diamond-shaped, Helby. Turn is the 7 of hearts. So
that means Loris is out.
Loris is gone. And if there's no ace on the river, then Matthew is going to triple up. Ace or a king on the river. Matthew's going to triple up.
Yep.
Jonas still has a decent stack, so he was never folding ace-king in that spot. Did nothing wrong. Still in a great position. We lose Loris from France. 10,475 euro for Loris. And the 5 remaining players are guaranteed a payout of at least 13,400 euro. So Use still in a commanding position with 22 million, but Matthew has jumped up into 2nd place now with 8 million chips. Interestingly enough, that 8 million chips, I think, if my calculations are right, is below average.
Yeah, just over 8 million for average, is it?
Well, 5 times 5 9s are 4. It's yeah. So 900,000 is 9 million is the average stack. Only 1 player out of the 5 is above average.
It's some way above average.
But however, it's really the amount of big blinds in play that's going to be the issue here. Blinds are 100,000, 200,000. So even Japan, who's in the lowest spot there, has 20 big blinds. So there's still room for manoeuvre for everybody.
400. Fold. Fold.
Matthew, did Matthew start as the short stack on this table?
Yeah, Matthew started
Call.
with 1.5 million in chips.
Yep.
And Cahill was actually the second
bets.
short stack at the table with 2 million when it started. So the two short stacks managed to work their way through the field.
Dodged the outs when they needed to.
Yep, you started as chip leader and has just maintained and grown since. He's added 10 million chips to his stack since we started the feature table.
Bet.
And Jonas actually
380,000.
is only just below what he started the feature table with. He started
Fine.
with in second place with 6.4 million, and he's currently got 5.75 million chips. As we see Japan take down a pot there on a Queen 6-4 flop. Jonas just took a little break there from the table just to get himself together. I'm sure he knows that he didn't make any mistakes in that hand. It was just a classic race between him and Matthew for 6 million, 7 million chips, 7.8 million chips.
Up to you. Fold. Up to you. Fold. He didn't see it. Up to you. Raise 400.
How much is it? 5 million? 8. 8 million.
Almost, yeah. 8.
I make it 1 million.
Raise 1 million. Fold. Fold.
So Matthew has raised 400,000. Use makes it 1 million, and Matthew folds. So more chips added to the chip leader stack.
Raise 400,000. Fold. 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 Fold.
Nearly 20 minutes into the level since the break, and we lost one player, Loris.
Two. Fold. Raise 400.
Into the gun, raise from used,
Fold.
400.
Fold.
Into Cahill,
Fold.
blind fold. Was talking to Japan on the break there briefly, and he's thoroughly enjoying the final table. He said that the chips are in the right place at the moment. The big chip stack is deservedly so at the moment. Thinks Just is playing a good game, and he showed a lot of respect also for Cahill, coming from a short stack.
Two. Fold.
On to Jonas.
Fold.
Fold. Japan on the button. You're going to get a raise here, yeah.
Raise 400,000.
400,000 into the blinds,
Fold.
and he gets it through. Pretty standard on a short-handed, 5 players left. Play your button. You need to be active to stay level at least and steal the blinds at least one rotation, once every rotation.
Leo, Leo, bra. Brösten.
And calls on the button. Small blind Matthew, big blind Just. Jonas to start.
Matthew. Fold. Raise 400,000. Fold.
Second raise in a row.
Fold.
What's that?
Just could look him up.
Raise 1
re-raise
million.
1 million.
There's the
Fold.
plaque. Japan folds, and Buse takes down some more chips.
What's that? Rubber?
With the short stacks at about short stack now is
Is that
Japan at 4.1 million. The blinds and antes 400,000. That's 10% of his stack. Stole it once, didn't get it through the second time. Now he's under the gun.
Matthew.
Very quickly lose position as the orbit goes round. He tries it.
Raise 400,000.
Tries
Fold.
it again. Min raise again, 400,000. Making a min raise is a pot-sized bet.
Fold.
And
Fold.
Jonas doesn't like his hand. So he gets his the blinds and antes, which is what he lost the last hand, the 400,000 bet, and Jonas used when it made it 1 million. He's just got his chips back. Still makes him 400,000 up of the last 3 hands.
Up to you. Raise 400,000. Fold.
We don't have a lot of information
Fold.
about some of the other players, but certainly Cahill's got a lot of experience with final tables
Fold.
and playing short-handed at the end of tournaments. Hopefully that'll benefit him. And from what Henrik is saying as well, Japan has good experience as well in the live circuit. So these two, you may see, being very active when it's short-handed.
Call.
Say that. Cahill raises under the gun. Gets 2 callers.
3 players.
1.4 million in the pot. And the flop is an innocuous looking 5 of clubs, 2 of spades, 3 of spades. Let's check back to Cahill,
Bet 500,000.
who is going to bet out 500,000.
Call.
Used
Fold.
looks like he's called. So 2.4 million chips in the middle.
Heads up.
Turn is the 10 of hearts. Cahill first to act. Cahill's
Check.
got nearly 4 million chips behind, and he's checked.
Check.
And Deuce checks, and we see the 2 of hearts on the river. Options on Cahill again. I think he's just thinking, how much can he bet here? Looks like he's going to be putting out a chunky size bet. Doesn't have any plaques, so some reds and yellows going out there.
880,000.
880,000.
Call. Show the card, please. I'll have to, please.
Use called with ace 10. Pocket queens for Cahill. He's going to take down a 4 million chip pot off the chip leader. That's the first significant pot we've seen Just lose at this feature table, I think.
Interesting that Just checked the turn when he hit the 10.
Yeah, could have been bigger. Bit of pot control there from Just, or trappiness.
Yeah. Maybe He shows some strength in call.
Yeah.
Pre-flop raise, continuation bet, both calls. Check, check, turn. River bet and a flat call. There's no flush there. There was a low end strike.
How are you guys?
Nice little pot for Cahill. Brings them up over 7 million, 7.2 million now. Very little damage to Used, just under 23 million now.
To play. Raise.
900.
Re-raise to 900.
Matthew led out there, 400,000. Re-raise by Just and 900,000. Previously he was doing the 1 million, but this time 900,000.
Matthew's not folded straight away, but he has now. He just gets back a few chips.
Has there ever been any deals made, Mike, on the final table of one of these?
Yeah, deals are made in most tournaments, to be honest, Patrick. It's we don't shy away from advertising that fact. It really depends on the way the chips are stacked up between the players, but yeah, quite often there's a deal made. They will have to play on for about €4,000, I think we agreed. So any deals that are made, this still has to be money to be played for.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a case of evening up the payouts and they play on and see what happens. Sometimes they all take a certain amount of money and just play on for the winner getting the rest.
I can understand that a lot more when it gets the blinds get a bit crazy.
Yeah, there's still plenty of play here, so it just depends on the experience of the players, how much the money means to them. You know, we know for a fact that, well, pretty much, unless there was a tournament that had the results on the Hendon Mob, that none of these players have made a live cash for anything near what first prize is here.
Yeah.
The nearest out of anybody here is Cahill won €15,000 before, and he's almost at that level now if he busts. If he manages to stay until 4th place, this will be his biggest cash in his live poker
The
career.
difference between first and second is bigger than his biggest live cash, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of money up there.
So that's the reason. You can understand why people would shop. Spread it out the pay a bit.
And Just gets a walk there. Not that he needs it.
Just under 24 million now for Just. There's a huge, nearly 4 times more than any other player. And it's getting to a real dogfight down there at the bottom now.
Yeah, he's got more than all the other players combined now. There are 45 million chips in play.
It's going to take something special to come back and peg him back.
Raise.
That's 400. It's been the standard raise.
Yeah, dealer didn't announce the actual raise. I'm going to have to just let him know to please call the amounts. Standard raise is just...
It's been 2x the whole time, hasn't it?
It is, yeah. Now, here we go. Jonas, looking him up or re-raise?
Re-raise.
This is re-raise.
1.1.
Yep. 1.1. Luckily that blue plaque is there. We can see it. Excuse me for a sec. I just have a quick chat with the dealer.
No problem. Yeah.
He made it 1.1. I don't think he's folded.
We are on level 30 now of the Deepstack tournament. Half an hour into it. 5 players remain. And 48,000 up top.
Raise to 400.
Lot to play for.
9.
Raise to 900,000.
So it's a raise again from Matthew. A re-raise again by Just. We saw that in the last orbit. 400 raise, re-raise
Fold.
to 500,000. Last time Matthew folded. This time he might look him up. Yeah,
Call.
got a call. We will go to a flop.
2 players.
That's a big pot now, 2.2 million. 4, 7,
Check back.
2. 2 diamonds. Matthew's going to continue. Maybe. He's riffling his chips. No, he's going to check it. Is he going to go for the plaques? Calculating how much is in there right now.
9.
900,000.
Yeah, makes the
bet.
same bet, 900,000. Just under half. Straight continuation of his previous pre-flop bet, which was a re-raise.
It looks like Matthew is going to call.
Yeah, Matthew's got 5.2 million, so if he's got any of that, he might like to see a turn.
Oh, are they raising chips?
There are racing chips. He's all in. Ooh. And is a call.
All in
Here
call.
we go.
A quick call from Juice. Has he got aces?
This is a very, very big pot.
Looks like Juice has got aces.
Yeah, Matthew.
Matthew's not happy.
Hang on, I'm going to get the dealer to move the cards in.
Matthew has got pocket 9, got the pocket king, the flop is 4 diamonds, jack of diamonds, 7 diamonds, 2 of hearts. Matthew's got all in player, he's hit at 9. On the turn of the river, he will be eliminated.
So pocket 9s for Matthew. Pocket kings for Just.
Turn is 8 clubs.
8 of clubs.
And that's going to mean get 1 of his 2 remaining
He's got
players.
2
Clubs
outs.
just needs a 9 to survive. Otherwise, Juice boosts the chips even more. And it is. It's a boost for Juice.
There we go. We lose Matthew. Well played, Matthew. Came in quite short. He was our short stack at the start of the day. And Just builds up that stack again.
Keeps stacking and stacking. Now it's
Stacking,
2/3 of the chips in play.
Look at that. Look at that. All the other guys just over 15 million. Or about 15 million, and Just has 30 million.
I think I
Dominating this feature table. How many players is that he's knocked out? 4?
Yeah, I think that's 4. You know, 2 previously in one hand. Yeah, I think that's up to 4 now.
He knocked out first 2 players, Abdul and Keith.
Sorry? Oh yeah. Are we talking deals or not?
Dominating the table, absolutely.
The topic of a deal has
And
just
this
been
blinds, please.
They mentioned the deal. If they are going to discuss the deal, I have to turn
Oh.
down the microphone on the table.
Floor, please. Feature table.
We will pause the clock, give them time to talk about it. The tournament director will oversee all talk of the deal.
We're practically even.
I'm not giving him fucking level.
You never get like
They're all relaxed now, they're all good. If they talk about a deal, Just has got to take a huge chunk of the money.
just play.
He wants to play?
can do
Yep.
it every 300 or 200 talk about deals.
Okay, Just wants to go to 2 or 300. So they're going to play. No deal yet.
Yeah, I think that's the right decision.
I think, yeah, with his dominant lead, he might as well. He'll get closer to first place without taking off too much off the 48,000 to spread out amongst the others if he goes to 300. So Matthew exits in 5th place for 13,400.
Raise.
It's a nice cash.
400,000.
A €500 buy-in plus the reg. That's a nice chunk of change for the weekend. That's a long, long play though. This is day 4.
Pass.
Long hours. Yeah, Jonas. Raising it up now that Joost has folded under the gun.
Yeah. 4.5.
Carl's asking how much he's playing behind.
All in.
Carl goes all
All
in and Joost folds instantly, instant muck. Carl shows a lot of strength. I think these guys have been keeping an eye on Carl quietly as he's been building up, and they do have a lot of respect for him. He has played it very well, very cautiously, hasn't misclicked at all, taken advantage at the right spot.
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed with Carl.
Yeah, he's just under 7 million now.
Doesn't look like too much phases him.
No.
Win or lose, he's just still plods along, keeps going.
He's been watching every play that's been going down, reading every situation, absorbing all the information nice and quietly.
200 to play. Pass.
Yeah, we're very short. You might see Japan making moves here.
Raise to 400.
Raise to 400. He announced the raise before putting in chips, so it wasn't a string bet. You might see some of the short stacks trying to get active here to steal the blinds and move up a little bit. Can't see Joost giving away any of his chips to
Sorry, Andy's please.
the short stacks as best he can anyway.
So, another one gone.
We're even, and you have like
4 players left. Average stack is now over 11 million. And Joost has twice the average.
Raise to 400.
Okay. This tournament now is
Forward.
for Joost to lose. So I presume Joost was the guy who knocked out Matthew. Yeah, so it does help when having chips helps, and having kings and aces certainly adds to that, doesn't it? At this stage, I'm pretty sure we're not going to be seeing any deals done, but just talking to JP there, and if there are any deals done, there will be at least 5,000 left over to play for the winner.
Yeah, there was, the other guys did talk about it, the shorter stacks did talk about it, and Joost said that he'd like to go to 3 or 2-handed before talking about a deal. I think that'll give him Patrick said he asked for 48k straight
Raise
off.
To be honest,
400.
I'm not a big fan of making deals myself. I've got a massive chip lead, and that would be the sort of thing I would be suggesting in tongue-in-cheek. I have seen it happen before, where a massive chip leader has offered the rest to split the remaining money, and for him to take first place without playing on, and I have seen it agreed to. So it does happen.
2 players.
At this stage, I'm not surprised with Joost chip stack and the way he's been playing as well. His play through the whole
Check
day
bet.
so far has been very good, very strong, solid.
Well, he's in a pot now with Japan. King, Queen, 8, 2 spades, and Joost is going to bet out.
Forward.
And Japan folds. So Carl Shine came into the day as the second shortest stack. Now we're down to 4 players. He's second in chips with 6.8 million, which is only just over half the average stack in play. Blinds are still 100,000, 200,000. So although he's in the weird situation of having nearly half average, but still having 34 big blinds in his stack. Yeah, and Joost has 150 big blinds. Even Japan, who's the shortest stack in the tournament, has got 18 big blinds. But by no means in the bag for Joost. Couple of
Raise
coolers.
to 440.
Couple of unlucky pots, couple of plays, and it can all change.
Ace king shout.
So as we were talking about earlier, Cahill is now guaranteed his biggest ever live poker cash, €17,000 for the next player out.
Pocket 10 shout.
As Use takes down another one, shows pocket tens. Now there's generally two ways to win at poker. One is to have the hands, and one is to have the chips and use them to win the pots. And he's certainly got both of those.
That was a walk in the big blind with his pocket tens.
Yeah. Well, he's due some bad luck for sure.
If that's what you're going to call bad luck, fair enough.
Well, it seems to be the worst luck he's having today.
Yeah.
So, big blind is Jonas. Cahill is on the button. Looks like he's going to raise it up. He makes it 400,000 to play. Just immediately reaches for a plaque or two.
40,000 re-raise.
Can't see how many is there, but we'll soon see what the bet was. He raises it to just over $1 million. Jonas gets out the way in the big blind, and it's back on Cahill.
This is pretty much how Matthew got knocked out. Matthew raised, Jonas re-raised. Matthew flattered and went to the...
All in.
Oh, here we go, all in.
All in from Cahill.
It could be a call. Just might be wary of the
All
chip
in,
stack.
call in a
He's
feature.
called.
He's called. Here we go.
Ace Queen against pocket sixes. So at the moment, Cahill is the all-in player. He needs to avoid an ace or a queen. We saw him win a race with pocket nines in a similar situation earlier on in the tournament. This time he's up against Just. And Just hasn't really missed. And there is some more outs there for Just. He's got backdoor hearts as well as a king for a straight, so...
There's only one heart in that one, Mike.
Yeah, so he's got backdoor hearts.
Nope.
Oh yeah, there's a spade there.
My turn to correct you.
Great.
And the river, he's safe.
Okay, so Cal's double up. That's
a
gonna
big one. That's a big double up.
Just is still going to be
oh yeah.
chip leader. He's still got over 20 million, but that puts Cahill in a great position on about 14 million if my counts are correct. Yeah, just over 13 million for Cahill. So completely different complexion on the tournament now.
Yeah, that was a 7 million hit to Just.
That's in the pot.
Well, he could afford it.
6, 4, 6, 6, 6, 6, 30.
6
And
million.
Jonas and Yaroslav, or Japan, are both below 5 million chips. But that's still, Japan has 20 bigs, 23 bigs for Jonas.
6. 6, 25.
Plenty of play there. Definitely plenty of play.
Yeah, that's gonna be your. No, that's in the pot. That was the. And the small and the big blind. Yeah.
Nothing wrong from either player there. It's nearly always going to go all in those situations.
600.
When you're four-handed, pocket sixes are huge, and so is ace queen.
What's that? 65. Yeah.
6,625,000. That's
like quite a few of the hands we've seen today. The cards have played themselves, really.
I was hoping I wouldn't have to flip.
Sorry?
I was
The only hand that we've had previously that I would question would be Abdul's shove with ace-7 on an ace-high board going into Leonard's ace-king. And he got lucky with the river, hitting a 7. I think that was the only questionable hand I'd come across in the whole of today.
Yeah, the jack face king, king 9 hand was the closest I got to some kind of a flip, which was not a flip.
Big blind there, please.
Redistribution. So you're playing 14 now? 14?
Yeah, about 13 and a half.
Raise to 400,000.
So Eustace is not letting losing that pot affect his play. He's raising up here on the button. Jonas in the small blind is having a think about what he's going to do here.
Call.
He's going to call. Japan in the big blind.
And a call.
Throws in a couple of 100,000, and we're 3-way to the flop.
Check a bet.
So 10 Jack 2.
Check, check.
Rainbow.
Check.
All 3 players check. 9 of clubs on the turn. Option is with Jonas.
Check.
Jonas checks.
Check.
Japan checks. Eustace is going to bet.
550,000 bet.
So 550,000 from Jonas. Pot is now 1.8 million. 9, 10, Jack 2, rainbow board.
Call.
Jonas calls and Japan gets out the way.
2 players.
And we're going to go to the river. 2 players in the pot, Jonas and Just. 2.4 million chips in the middle already. And the river is the 10 of clubs.
Check a bet.
Action is on Jonas, who was in the small blind.
This could be a good position.
Bet.
To make a move.
1 million.
He's going to bet 1 million. Blue plaque thrown out into the middle. Just doesn't look particularly happy at that bet, but he's going to call.
He's going to call.
And Jonas taps the table.
That is ace-king for Just. King-queen for the straight for Jonas.
I think the king-queen was...
Let's see, hang on. Just double check it now. Who's the chips moving to? Yeah, it's Jonas. Jonas gets it.
All right, I thought Jonas was tapping the table saying good call, but...
You're saying thank you.
Yeah. That's... I'm quite surprised more chips didn't go in the pot there, to be honest.
It's almost a perfect card for the both of them to act out on the river. With Just hitting his trips.
So things starting to go against Just here now. It's a couple of decent-sized pots as well. The one against Cahill was much bigger, but that was a decent-sized pot to lose against Jonas, and it brings Just down to 22 million and Jonas up to 7 million. Still a big difference, but Jonas now only 1 pot away of getting right back into this game. And Japan is being left adrift at the bottom at the moment. Jonas is going to fold his button. Japan in the small blind.
Raised. 400,000.
Raised to 400,000. Cal Shine, second in chips, is going to fold.
Japan just picking his spots as he has all this level so far since the break, taking down the blinds. He's only had 1 person come over the top, which he folded to. Otherwise, he's been stealing nice little pots. That has to have a mental effect on Just. Those 2 pots now. The double up for Carl, 7 million lost there. And I think he lost about 2.5 million in that last pot.
Nice to be able to lose 10 million chips and still be chip leader, though. I think he seems quite a cool, collected guy. I don't think it'll affect him for too long.
No.
So action is on Jonas. He's going to raise it up under the gun. Cahill Shine in the small blind. He's going to re-raise.
Raised 1 million.
1 million chips, my friend. Yus gets out the way and it's back on Jonas.
We haven't really seen these two going at it today.
Jonas, I think when we've seen him raise and get re-raised, usually he folds quick. All in from Jonas.
That's a big one.
Yeah, he's not the kind of player to dwell fold. I don't recall him dwell folding at any point, so.
Carl hasn't budged.
6.
Total is
Waiting to hear the chip stack count.
7.
6.330.
Oh, Kyle says that's too much for me. Taps the table. Jonas is going to take down this one. Another million added to his stack. There we see 8.5 million for Jonas and 12 million for Cahill. Just still out in front and Japan falling further behind here.
Sorry.
Japan on 3.88 million. Our short stack now.
How would you like, guys? Best of luck. Okay, I'm going.
If Just and Castle take some more chips,
Did you just say where I'm
or
going?
Jonas and Castle take more chips, this could even out into a 3-way action to get to the end. Just might have lost out on making a nice deal for himself. He's still a good demanding chip lead, almost twice what Cahill has, who's next in chips. So 22 million for Just, just under 12 million for Cahill, and Jonas is climbing. He's 8.4 million.
Yeah, I think if you ask Just if you would give him 22 million chips in this position at the start of the final table, he would have taken it. I'm sure he realizes that it's a great position, but he needs to pretend that he's just doubled up to 22 million rather than he's just lost 10 million chips.
That's true. The psychological effect of losing can be quite a daunting thing. An experienced player would, as you said there, Mike, control his emotions, say, look, at 22 million, still massive chip leader. Japan attack first, under the gun. Looks like he's going to be raising it. Yeah.
Raise.
400,000.
400. Pass.
Back around to the big blind, Jonas, sitting right next to him. And he's just going to make the call. Under the gun and big blind going to the flop. We have 6, king, 5. Jonas act first.
Check.
Checks.
Bet 4.
Continuation bet, same size as the pre-flop raise. Just half size pot. Just a little under it.
And Jonas is going for the deep reach, going to put Japan to the test.
Raise. 1 million.
1 million chips.
There could be some action here. No, Japan's out to go.
Sorry?
So Japan is now down to 3 million chips. That's 15 big blinds. So getting into shove mode, I think, for Japan.
If you've recently joined us, Yaroslav Japan is his full name, but he's commonly known as Japan, his surname.
Thank you.
And Japan is in the big blind at the moment. Yost is going to raise it up on the button. Jonas is going to fold. And Japan is going to fold. So another 200,000 drifts away from Japan's stack. Leaves him on 2.8 million.
What time is it?
5.
We've had nearly 5 hours play here in the Regency Hotel, and 5 players gone so far. It took 3 hours or so before we lost the first player. But since then, they've fallen reasonably quickly. Most of the chips go into Yost.
Rice. Pass. Call 4.
Okay, we call and Jonas going to the flop.
Check.
And check by Cahill. To Jonas. In recent hands, these guys are 1 for 1 and they've gone heads up. Cahill took down the first one.
Bet.
Small betting. And
550.
Jonas went all in previously on a
550.
Cahill's continuation bet. Took that one down. So now Jonas leads out 550,000. Looks like Cahill might be calling. Yeah.
Call.
That's a call. Go to the turn. Seven of clubs.
Check.
Checked by Cahill.
Well, that really doesn't change too much. So if Jonas thinks he was ahead after the flop, you should see him bet again here. Then again, Cahill called on the flop, so if he thinks he's ahead, he's probably going to call here.
These guys are very close in stacks. 11 million left for Cahill and 8.3 million left for Jonas. Close enough.
9-8.
So 980,000 bet from Jonas.
I think this is going to be a call.
Well,
Yeah. That's a calling stack.
Call.
yep, there we go. We are going to see a river.
20 more.
4 million chips
20
in this
more,
pot.
it's 9-8.
This could be quite a decisive pot in the tournament. And the river is the Jack of Hearts. Option is with Cahill Shine
Check.
from Ireland, who checks again.
Unless Jonas has a jack, he's going to check this, I think.
Yeah, no, if Jonas doesn't have a showdownable hand, he does have to bet here, really, if he wants to take the pot down. But I think, again, it doesn't really change anything here. So if Cahill thought he was ahead on the flop, he should be still ahead on the river, unless here Cahill had 2 spades and he's calling for the flush draw.
That's a huge bet. That's a big bet. That's about a half-size bet, I think.
2,340,000.
That's over half. 2.3 million.
Now, if Cahill's got a mid pair here, he's got a decision on his hands.
I'd actually possibly put Jonas on a mid pair.
Oh, we can all guess what Jonas has got.
Yeah, pre-flop razor on the button though.
Well, on the button he can have anything really,
True.
but
Flat call by Cahill in the big blind pre-flop. If he had 8s or higher, he would have re-raised it, I think. 400.
yeah, quite possibly.
You might do. It's hard to do a hero call on this since that bet was more than 50%, just over it. Maybe he had ace high with flush draw going through the hand.
Well, there's plenty of hands that Jonas can have. I think if Cal's thinking about calling, then I think we're going to see something like 6s or 8s from Cal. And then it all depends what Jonas has been betting with. As he's been betting, his range can be a lot wider than somebody who's calling.
True.
I don't think Cahill can have a big ace, so he's not calling with ace high here, I don't think.
Seven's full.
Oh, Jonas has hit the 7s on the turn. I'm pretty sure that's a head.
Huge.
Monster.
Cahill does not show. Cahill folds. Very big pot. 8.7 million pot.
Would have been nice to see what Cahill had there.
There's a swap of chips. Direct swap over.
Yeah, back to where they were before. It was
Cahill at 8.4 million starting that hand. Or, no, sorry, 9 million starting that hand.
10 million left.
I think we find Cahill added nearly 11 million there. He lost 4 million chips to Jonas. And Jonas is on nearly 14 million. Cahill drops down to 7.6 million, and Japan is our short stack by some distance with 2.7 million chips. So unless Japan doubles through Cahill, if he doubles through, he'll still be the short stack.
Pass. Pass. Pass.
So Use gets a walk.
Pass.
We're just over an hour into this level now.
Pass.
26 minutes left on the level.
Call.
Lines are 100, 200,000 with a 20,000
Check.
entry. Ante. Limp from the small blind from Just into Jonas's big blind.
150.
Bet. 1.
Just leads out and Jonas instant folds. No point getting messed up.
1 and 200? Maybe not. Does that mean I win the pot?
Just misclicks his bet of
That means he
150,000.
bet big blind.
Big blind is 200,000. It's over 50%, so it would have been a 200,000 bet anyway. Main bet. Japan doesn't look too focused right now. Sitting sideways. He's got a bit of a rail around him, so maybe a little distracted from it. He's got a lot of folks at home watching. He said quite a few of them have been texting him and sending messages on Facebook, etc. So, hello to all Japan fans.
Raise 4. Pass.
Just raises on the button, as he's done nearly every button this hand when he's opening.
All in.
Japan shoves all in. Here we go. Just asking for a count. By our calculation, it is around 2.7.
Call. All in and call.
All in and a call. Here we go.
Alright, we have all in call.
So ace-6 for Japan and 5s for Just. Another race. The all-in player needs to hit to stay in the tournament.
At least he's got 2 overcards, even with the 6 being low.
How many you get?
2.7 by our calculations. Minus his ante.
Something.
Okay, let's hear about.
The flop is 4-8 Jack. No help for Japan.
If it's runner clubs, the 6 will count over the 5.
There's the king of clubs, so some extra outs now for Japan. Any club, any 6 or any ace. And the river is the 4 of hearts. And we're going to lose Japan in 4th place for €17,000.
And Just knocks out another player.
Okay, where are we?
So Just has knocked out every player bar 1 so far at this feature table. The only player knocked out not by Just was Loris, who was knocked out by Matthew, who in turn was knocked out by Just.
So 25.5 million, 13.3 million, and
river. You accidentally lifted your cards and you're putting in chips. I saw one of your cards that wasn't paid.
Did you see the 7?
I didn't see it.
Wow, I did like this.
I saw it wasn't
I
paid.
knew that I did it.
I saw it wasn't paid. That's what got me to call it.
Wow.
Yeah, I would fold otherwise.
What's the third price?
Okay. You just big blind, alright?
Cahill has relaxed and started chatting with everybody now. Very happy. Still have 3 players left. He's made it this far. Quite an achievement. Over 300 players. What was the total count for the entries?
Or maybe we can look in the break.
Yeah.
450.
450 players started the tournament. We're down to 3.
After 20 minutes, please.
4 days of play. It's very long. Quite grueling.
50 is good, thank you.
You didn't say raise. Just call.
There's a string bet there.
No, he's small blind.
He's big blind.
Big blind on its own.
Oh, yeah, he's out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
Dealer controlling the table well. Jonas put out 2 chips first and then tried to place 2 other chips beside it. Didn't call bet, so it is a string bet. He has to take it back and it's just a flat
Raise
call.
4.
Jonas shows some intention there, even though he knows Just wanted to
Pass.
raise it up. Now, nice raise.
Good hand? What? Good hand? Oh, big one.
Small big blind, please.
You realize you limped there?
Sorry?
You realize you limped?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, I missed back it up.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I wasn't sure if he realized it. Maybe he thought you were big blind.
20 minutes left on this level. And we will go for another little
Day
break.
2 I called an all-in because I didn't tire someone's all-in. I had king 8 against ace
And
queen.
if my calculations are correct, we'll do 1 more level after this, and then dinner break.
Pass.
And a walk.
Must have been a lot of Danish people watching the live stream. The viewer count dropped sharply as soon as Japan was knocked out.
If there's anybody left watching, thank you very much for tuning in.
We now have a viewer graph looking like the White Cliffs of Dover. So an Irishman, a Dutchman and a Belgian, all competing for the title of European Deepstack Poker Champion 2014.
Raise.
400,000 raised there by Carl.
Pass. 4 raise, 4. Pass.
And he takes it down.
So we've had 3 Irish winners before, we've had a Belgian win before, but we've never had a Dutchman win the European Deepstack Poker Championship.
There's a lot of Belgians here this week. It was over 100, was it? Or around the 100 mark?
We had 103 Belgians in the tournament. The Belgians always support our events over here in big numbers. Believe it or not, it's not the most Belgians we've ever had in this event. One year we had 135 Belgians. That was when we had 737 entries. And can't remember exactly how many Dutch players we had in the tournament this year, but I believe it's the most we've ever had. If it's anything like previous years, when somebody from a country that we haven't had many players from wins this tournament, we generally get a big influx of them next year. The year Magnus Naslin won from Sweden, we had 5 Swedish players in the tournament. The next year there was 50.
That's amazing. It truly is a European deep stack.
Okay, looks like we've got 3 players to the flop here, if the graphics on the screen are to be correct, but I can't see any cards in front of Just. King, King, Queen on the flop. 3 of clubs on the turn. It's just Jonas and Cahill in the pot. And looks like Just is going to take a stab at it here on the turn. 520,000. Cahill Shine from Ireland. Looks like he's going to make a call.
Call.
Last time this happened, he ended up losing a big pot to Jonas. And the river is the Jack of Diamonds. Jonas is first to speak.
Check.
He's going to check.
Check.
You got it.
Jonas says you got it. He shows 8-10. And Cahill has ace-4, so ace-high going to take that one down.
Nice little hero call on the turn. Thinking Jonas was up to something. It's true, today we've seen Jonas playing. He's definitely got a quite wide range. They're just at 25 million. And Jonas at 12.5 million. Cahill, our short stack, with 8.3.
Raise. 4. Re-raise 1 million.
Just to 1 million over Jonas's opening button raise, 400,000. Looks like we're going to get a call here.
Re-raise 2.7.
Nope. 2 plaques going in there. Used Instamucks. Jonas powers on through.
We've seen Just play that type of strategy over and over again since the last break.
En als hij verdubbelt voor de
Jonas
mee op de
seems to
rem.
be picking up on something.
En als hij verdubbelt voor de mee op de rem. Ja, maar ja. Stel weer dat hij verdubbelt via mij of via hem. Hoe dat dan eruit ziet.
Jonas does have quite a big following watching beside this feature table.
An ICM calculator.
Huh?
An ICM calculator.
Jonas is one of the Belgians who, or the Dutch. Sorry, the Belgians that went out for a meal last night on my recommendation for a nice chunk of steak in town. And and a few beers afterwards.
Pass.
They didn't look like they had too many sore heads amongst
Call.
them, so I guess they didn't go too reckless.
Check.
And we go to the flop. Jost just flat calls. Jonas checks.
250.
Jost is first to act.
Bet 250.
250k. 50k over this big blind.
Call.
And a flat call. Go to the turn. There's the heart. Hearts have hit. Queen of hearts. Now what's just going to do?
650.
Bet 650.
Barrel again. So they both checked on pre-flop. On the flop, Jost led. Jonas
Call.
flat called. Again, Jost barreled again. Second barrel, and he gets looked up again. Queen on the river. There's a straight on the flop. The flush came on the turn. And the board has paired for the river. That's very wet. Just deciding his bet.
1.9.
Bet 1.9. 1 million point 9.
That's a big bet. It's about, is it 75%, 80% of the pot?
Call.
And he calls. Looking him up. He's not putting his chips in, he feels confident, I think. Ace 8 for Jonas, and Jost instant mucks, doesn't show a hand. Would like to see what Jost had there. Jonas throwing his cards first. A nice hand for Jonas again, chipping away.
Maybe should have left away.
Chipping away.
Bad way for the bluff. Yeah. Good way.
So, Jonas is creeping very close now. So, used 21 million, Jonas 16.7 million, and Cahill 8.28 million. Jonas is really creeping up there. He's been second nearly the whole day. Once or twice somebody else has crept ahead of him, but he's got it back. Cahill was ahead at one point.
The ace park? Yeah. Really nice.
We're just looking up the ICM for a three-way.
Pass.
And it's very, very close.
Pass 4.
37% for Jost, 35% for Jonas, and 29.5% for Cahill. That's very, very close ICM. Oh, he's put it in, sorry, they're the payouts. So 37,000 for Jost, 35,000 and 29,000 if they do an ICM on the payouts.
Pass.
On the cashless living.
Pass.
There's 102,000 still to play in the prize pool. 48 at top, 31 second, and 23,000 third. Three-handed chip's going to move around the table quite quickly. Might see some 2 and 3 bettings, possibly some 4. We've only seen 1 or 2 4 bets which have been shoved all in and they've been instantly called.
1.05.
Cahill raised it up, 400,000.
We raise
Jost.
1 million point 150. Yeah. 50.
1.15
Pass.
or 1,050,000. re-raise. Jonas's fold. It's up to Cahill now. Figure out where he's at. I wouldn't be surprised. Here we go. Yeah, I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised if Cahill re-races them. He's been solid all day.
How much you got left?
2,100,000.
2,100,000 is the raise.
Maybe a little bit more, 6.1.
That's double Yus re-raise.
Okay, I'm all in.
All in.
All in and call. Here we go.
All in and call.
So Just showed strength by asking exactly how much he had. As soon as he put in the re-raise, Cahill did not look disturbed by that at all, and you can see why. He had the queens. 2 pocket pairs, it's going to go all in when you're three-handed. There is backdoor clubs for Just, but I don't want to jinx Cahill, so that's good. The diamond's good, nice and low. Now give us a picture card. Cahill will double up, there we are. Cahill doubles up. So Cahill's up to 16 million. Just has lost the lead now. He is on the bottom. He is at 13.4 million. Cahill's now gone second to Jonas. It's all to play for now. I think Just should have talked about a chop previously. He's completely lost the lead and his domination over this table. Still a lot to play for though. He's got plenty to play. If he can keep his head together, got plenty to play for. It's all psychological now for him to keep it. He's lost it, but he's still in the game. He's still here.
8,240,000. It's 5 here. 5.
We've 8 minutes left in the level, so if you can keep his calm for 8 minutes, he can just go out, take a breather, get a bit of fresh air, talk to his rail, see if anybody's got any information for him, any strategy.
8.
That's a huge turnaround.
40 more.
Huge turnaround. Just is at the bottom. He's been in the lead all day today. He's now bottom of chips, 300.
Yeah.
I know, I want to count first.
Huge hand.
Yeah, they just came on the screen.
If you can have the break now.
Okay, very even now.
Just is asking for a break now. 8 minutes. Are they going to talk a deal?
I have about 16 million.
I'm sure JP will agree, and as soon as they restart, we'll be back, let you know what happens with their discussions if they are talking about a deal. They will have to play on to a winner. There will be, if there is a deal, there will be money left for the winner. So we'll be back as soon as they restart play.
Okay, I'm going to turn the table microphone down, so let them discuss it. They are away from the table, but we don't want them to be overheard in any shape or form. That's completely up to the 3 guys to discuss with themselves and the tournament director to verify it. Make sure everything's safe and fair. So we'll be back to you as soon as the players have discussed their deal.